April 28th, 2018. This will be a very short update. Just wanted to show a couple of things. Number one, you'll notice the pond level is significantly higher. That's because I patched in on the dam here. Took out the old high-density polyethylene corrugated pipe. Put in a much smaller pipe, a little bit higher as the high overflow limit. I have a little bit more dam work to do in here to fill this in. But eventually, when we get this filled in, the high overflow will be able to come out here when the pond level goes too high, so we won't erode the dam. So that's just a minor dam upgrade, but that's in preparation for the next project, which is going to be hydropower. So we'll go take a look at the water flow we can produce in a sec. Real quick, I've been letting the pond fill up. I can actually put this other pipe in and take it higher if I want, but obviously until I fill the dam, that's not a good idea. But we have enough water right now to do an excellent test. So I'm going to take this out and we're going to fill that 4-inch pipe with water. And we'll take you down and we'll take a look at the end. So here we are on the output side, and you can see just how much water that pipe puts out. I think it's somewhere in the neighborhood of 80 to 100 gallons a minute. But we'll do some calculations on it at some point. But for now, just know it's a lot of water moving pretty fast. We're only dropping about 6.5 foot from the pond level to the bottom of the head zone, you know, where it hits the bottom elevation here. But there's quite a volume there, and we can back that up and dump it out probably about once a day most of the time. So we should be able to get a pretty decent charge session out of some sort of hydro system. I haven't figured out what I'm going with yet for a generator or alternator. There's a lot of logistics to figure, but the first thing is to be able to supply a volume of water. We've got that pretty well covered. Just thought I would show this as part of the update. Now let's go take a look at a minor update on the ram pump. Okay, just to make a point about how much water that pipe is letting loose, this whole black 3/4 inch poly line is usually above the water. And I just opened that pipe, and this is still coming up. So we can move a tremendous amount of water. Alright, now back to the ram pump. I just added just a minor upgrade. Basically this will make it so I can capture all of the water coming out of the ram pump for a couple of different things. Number one, for better erosion and sediment control, because now we can discharge the water right back to the stream where it belongs. And number two, we'll be able to capture the water coming out of that pipe. We'll be able to take a flow rate of the water coming out of the pump, in other words, total flow through, and also the water delivered up top, and then we can calculate exact efficiency of the pump. So that'll be very useful in diagnostics on future upgrades to determine whether we've increased efficiency or not. Thirdly, this leaves us the option, if we want to put other stuff later downstream, we can pick up the water coming out of the ram pump and run it into some other system. Could even run into another ram pump further downstream if we chose to do that. Anyway, basically just took a 4 or 5 gallon bucket with a hole saw, drilled a couple of holes, made it so that the fittings fit together. These two fittings right now are just squeeze fit together. Eventually they'll be glued. I haven't decided whether or not I'm keeping this bucket as the container, or I might find something a little more classy. Anyway, that's the update for today. Thanks for watching the Pharmacy Seeds Network.